Um, yeah.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that's. I mean, I love how just honest you are about your experience. But would you say that between Division One and your current school, I don't even want to call it NAIA. It sounds like, I mean, obviously they're not Division One level. It sounds like, I mean, I think maybe you would agree with me on that, but they're
Yeah.
close. They're knocking on the door. What's the difference? Like, what's the difference between Division One, not even just say Vanderbilt, but just what's the difference between Division One and then the school you're at now, even though it's classified as an NAIA, but you say it's more Division Two. What
Mhm.
is the difference?
The first thing that comes to mind is the physicality.
Hmm.
It's not quite as physical. Um, and then I would say you just have a little bit more variety of the players you're going to see in the locker room. So we're not all that standard super athlete, like so good at soccer. There's a little bit more variety. Like someone's here because they're a great person, like, or they're here because like their siblings on the team. And like maybe they don't play as much, but they still bring a huge aspect to the team, and the team would not be the same without them. And so that's something, I mean, obviously, like I care about people and I'm very relational. So I actually really love that aspect versus like in the D1 environment. Um, there's a little bit, it's not as like a family as much because it's a little more cutthroat. Like we're both fighting for this spot and I might hate you because of that. So I would say at the NIA level, there's a little bit more maybe not as good as soccer, but I'm going to support you because I know I still have value on this team because not all my value is wrapped up in me starting. So,
Going back to the physicality part, um, piece of it, is that because of the refereeing in terms of letting things go? Um, because obviously, let's say if it was physical and the referee started calling it a lot more, then I'm assuming players would adjust, coaches would adjust. Um, or is it the refereeing? Is it the style of play? Is it maybe more direct, a little bit more balls over the top, a little bit more running onto things, more 1v1 battles? Like what makes it physical?
uh, honestly, I don't think the girls are as big. I think D1, like a lot of coaches are looking for like that ideal like athlete, like honestly like
Mm.
a body type. Um, that's like the first thing because no, there's still obviously there's still fouls and like injuries and it's still physical. Don't get me wrong, like it's still physical. It's just not like I don't come home from a game covered in bruises. I come home with like one on my arm instead of like a Charlie horse in my thigh and like a gash on my forearm. So it's just yeah,
But I
you
guess
don't
what I'm trying to like, well, what makes it physical? Like, is it the athlete? Is
yeah,
the is
part
it
of it's
is it is
yes.
it is it is it the mentality?
Part of it's the athlete, and then I guess it comes a little bit to like the style of play. So like your everyone at the D1 level is like like kind of like tackling each other. I remember like at practices we had like a no rules practice where you would legit tackle people just so that we could get that like toughness.
Mm,
And so which like I think is fine, but I appreciate the side of soccer that is like, hey, let's pass the ball. And so
mm.
um like I like that part of NI a little bit more, where we can focus on the technical side a little bit more and not have to be in the weight room lifting super heavy in order just to hold your own to take your first touch. So, like, I don't have to put in as much time in the weight room playing NI versus Division One.